to talk to you today about honoring your mother and father. So in the book of Exodus, the Ten Commandments, the fifth commandment is recorded a couple places, but in Exodus 20 and verse 12, it says, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. So this is the fifth commandment. It's one of the 10. And it's interesting that honoring your mother and father is in there. The other thing interesting about this command is that it's the only command that ties with it a promise, and that is that it will that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. So I want to just I think we're going to do 3 weeks on this. The first thing today I want you to see is let's talk about what honor is and how it's tied to a promise. So the word honor here, it's kind of in English, we use the word, but we don't really know how to use it, not quite sure what it all means. This is the word that implied heaviness or weight, put weight on something. The opposite would be light or to take something lightly. So this is to take heavily or to view heavily with some weight, with significance, to honor your mother and father. A couple things, too, to understand about this. This was not limited in the Jewish mind to your mom and dad. There would have been multiple layers to who the mother and father were. There would have been obviously your actual parents, and it would have extended to your lineage, the patriarchs and so forth. Like for instance, every Jew would have viewed Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their mother and father, and Sarah and Rebekah and so forth. And so it goes in your lineage. It also would be those who are your teachers, your mentors, the ones who guide you. Those would be thought of as mothers and fathers. And as well, it would have been your civil leaders and kings and prophets and leaders of the society would have been thought of as your mother and father. So the reason I want you to see that is because this word honor your mother and father is much bigger than the typical Sunday school teaching, which might be obey your parents. It's not that. First of all, you have to understand the Ten Commandments was not written to children. So it isn't teaching 5-year-olds to obey mom and dad, although there's nothing wrong with that, and that is, at that season of your life, that is honoring them. You have to understand this was written to adults, and so it's much bigger picture that goes with this. And so I want us to see there is a command to honor or to think heavily of, not take lightly, those who have gone before you in your family, in your education, your wisdom, your spiritual upbringing, even your national upbringing and your heritage and your history. So I want us to see that. And then I want us to see that it says, honor them so that it will go well with you, in the land the Lord your God is giving you. The promise. This was the ultimate promise for the Jewish people. They were slaves. Now they're nomads when they get this. They don't have any land. And so they don't have land. And it's all about the promised land. They want to get to the promised land. And God is telling them here, this is how you keep the promised land. Honor your mother and father. It's tied to a promise. So I want you to see, if you want to receive, not just receive the promises that God has for you, but to keep them. And not only that, the promise for the Jewish person wasn't a new promise. The land was promised to Abraham, and actually Abraham was in the land, and then they left and went to Egypt. We'll get to that next week. And the promise has been there. They lost their promise. They're in Egypt now, and they're slaves. God is telling them, you want to keep the land, you want to keep the promises of God, you want to continue on the promises that God gave your forefathers, gave your mother and dad, then you honor them, put weight on them, and you're viewing them highly and then you're carrying it on. I'm going to stop there this week and just encourage you to ponder what God is saying to you, to honor those who have gone before you, because it is tied to the promises God has given not only to you, but also to previous generations.